Hello there, I'm Jamie and I'm here with Mark and Tom, and we are going to show you how to assemble a static fleet unit. We have all our parts laid out, we're ready to go. All these parts you would get into a small parts bag when you purchase your unit. We have our assorted small parts, fasteners and rivets and bolts and nuts, mirror, slide latch retainer, slide plate retainer, slide plate, spring, door trim panel, cover, TP rod, handle, and then we have our tools over here, Phillips screwdriver, slotted, 2 Phillips screwdrivers, vice grips, hammer, our impact wrenches, and a drill with a 13/64 drill bit and a pneumatic rivet gun. Now we have pneumatic tools. You could use a simple ratchet and 7/16 socket with a hand rivet gun that you would use as well, so you wouldn't need to use pneumatic tools. We're going to start off with assembling our rear panel and our rear extrusions together. Making sure that the mitered ends are towards the top and that the smooth side is facing the interior of the unit. Simply slide the rear panel into the slot of the rear extrusion. We will not be riveting the rear extrusions at this time. We're simply putting rivets to hold them in place. Sometimes you'll find that the holes and the rear extrusions do not line up with the holes in the side panel, the rear panel. Simply using the rear extrusion as a drill guide, you can drill through this hole and into your rear panel. And place that rear panel assembly off to the side. Now we're going to assemble our side panels to our rear extrusion. So you line up the side panel with the holes and then simply reinsert the rivet, lining all 3 panels up together. Rivet in place using PC 000-104 rivet. Insert your side panel into the slot of the rear extrusion and line up the holes and rivet in place using the PC 000-104 rivets. Sometimes the holes don't line up, so you might have to re-drill the holes to get them to assemble correctly. So Tom's going to drill that hole out. Make sure you don't drill all the way through the rear extrusion. We're going to insert the side panel into the slot of the door jamb, and we'll line up that top hole of the side panel with the hole that's already drilled into the door jamb. Insert a rivet in there to hold that into position, and then slide the rest of the side panel into that slot. And Tom will then insert a rivet into the bottom hole, and then he's going to rivet that in place. Now, due to manufacturing tolerances, some of the holes may not line up. The bottom holes will need to be drilled out. That's what Tom is doing now. So since he's drilling, and we have our side panel located into the slot of the door jamb, we'll finish drilling these all out. Again, rivet in place using the PC 000-104 rivets. Insert a rivet through the top hole of the grab handle and into the second hole from the top down. Riveting to the bottom hole of the handle. Like we did with the other side, we are going to slip the side panel into the door jamb and rivet in place after lining up the holes with a PC 000-104 rivet. Now the bottom hole will have to be drilled out. Then rivet your door clip in the center 2 holes that are located right by the spring area. Then we're going to take our sub-assembly with our sides and front and rear and place it over our base. We're going to install a toilet seat at this time on this tank. Toilet seat installation is very straightforward. Simply insert the bolts through the holes and tighten down with the nuts. Insert our tank inside the unit. These are our bolts for the jamb to hold it to the base. We have 2 short screws, they're 1.5 inches, and then we have the 2 longer 3.5 inch long screws. The longer ones will go through the top holes. And then the short ones will go through the bottom holes. Now starting from the front of the unit, using a 7/16 socket, drive your legs in. Make sure not to over tighten them, otherwise you'll strip out the plastic. Remove the 3 rivets that we're holding the rear extrusion on at this time. Place your screens onto the top of the side panel as shown. While holding the screens down, have another person place the roof over the top of the unit. Line the top of the roof into that rear extrusion while holding down the roof. Drill 3 13/64 holes through just the roof, not all the way through the rear extrusion. Using the 104 rivets. Line the roof into the slot of the door jamb. While holding that roof down tight into position, drill the holes in the jamb and through the roof. Rivet in place using the PC000-104 rivet. Pushing out on the side panel and using the hole that's drilled in the top of the side as a guide, drill 4 holes up into the roof. Also drill out the hole for the screen at this time. With a PC000-100 rivet on the inside, and then on the outside, place a fender washer, PC121 fender washer with a 106 backup washer on top of that. To hold the screen in, that's held in place with a PC000-102 rivet with a backup washer on the outside. From the outside of the unit, locate the drill spots on the side panel. And with somebody on the inside holding the tank into position, drill the tank out using a 13/64 drill bit. 2 on the side and 2 through the rear panel. Using PC000-103 rivets with backup washers on the inside of the tank, we're going to rivet the tank into position. Using the dimples on the rear panel, we're going to drill out the 4 rivets that hold the TP dispenser onto the rear. Again, these holes are 13/64 size. Now using the PC000-100 rivets, we're going to rivet into position from the outside with backup washers held on the inside. Simply pull the urinal out of the tank. Insert the spout of the urinal into the hole that's on the top of the tank. Level the urinal out, and using a 13/64 drill bit, drill 2 holes through the center recesses and into the side panel. You rivet into position using the PC000-101 rivet with backup washers on the outside. Insert the vent stack through the roof, and then down into position into the recess of the tank, making sure the vent stack is completely down inside the recess. Using a 13/64 drill bit, drill through the recess of the tank and into the vent stack. Rivet in place using a PC000-117 rivet. At this time, we're going to lay the unit on its rear. This could be laid completely flat on the ground or rested on a tank like we have here. Finish up the front jamb assembly to the base with PC000-123 washers and the PC000-140 nylon lock nuts. Place the washer on the bolt and then the nut. Using a Phillips screwdriver and a 7/16 socket with an impact wrench, tighten into place. We're going to start assembling our door pieces together, and if you have an optional lock for your unit, you want to lock the ability to lock the unit, Tom is going to show us how to assemble that in. Basically, there is a knockout there, so take a screwdriver with a hammer, and in the center, give that a little pop. After we pop that out, we're going to install the lock by inserting it with the cam facing up towards the open area here, and then slip the nut over that and tighten into position. We're going to insert the slide plate retainer with the decal facing up, this being up. So we're going to insert that like that. You can insert your slide plate at this time. We're going to install our spring assembly at this time by simply inserting the cable through the hole that's pre-drilled in the door. Using the claw of a hammer, going to pull the cable out. So we're going to do that by closing the door, inserting the hammer with the claw against the jamb for leverage, open up the door, then take a vice grips, make sure it's very tight, and clamp onto the cable where it comes out of the door. Insert the cable into the slot, open the door to release the pressure, and release the vice grips. Insert your PC000-157 sheet metal screws and drive them through the slide latch retainer plate. Take your slide latch, position it behind the retainer as shown. Insert into the holes that are pre-drilled in the door. Place your door trim panel cover over and line up the screws with the holes in the door trim panel cover. You can adjust the tightness of the slide latch by tightening or loosening those screws. Now using the PC 000143 screws, we're going to fasten the other two. We're going to fasten the door trim panel to the door on the other two holes. Going to install the mirror at this time. Peel our protective covering back off the mirror. And place our plastic fasteners through the holes of the mirror and into the door. We're going to install the door TP rod and lock at this time. Simply slide the TP rod through the two holes and place the lock through the last hole of the rod and into position. Thank you for watching our assembly procedure of the fleet unit. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope it was informative. Thank you for Tom and Mark for helping us out, and thank you for buying our products.